Welcome to LC Screen Talk. My name is Larry, and this is my review of Freaky. Freaky is a 2020 horror comedy that sees a mystical knife cause a notorious serial killer to switch bodies with a 17-year-old high school girl. Just in time for Friday the 13th, she has to try to find a way to get back to her old self, if you will, before it's too late. So horror comedies are usually a lot of fun. I think that this is a subgenre that has so much potential and oftentimes delivers entertaining films, even if they're not necessarily great per se. And so Freaky sounded awesome. It gave you that Freaky Friday premise with a 80s horror slasher film. Sounds like a great time to me, so I was definitely excited to check this one out. And ultimately, I had a lot of fun with Freaky. So, let's go ahead and talk about the positives first. So my biggest positive is actually the premise and the idea. We are mixing a lot of standard genres, and the film actually does play by all of those genres pretty well. But putting these ideas of a body swap comedy with an 80s style slasher makes for a really fun, inventive premise. And of course, having it be literal Freaky Friday style on Friday the 13th and to be released on Friday the 13th just puts that extra cherry on top. Premise is a lot of fun, and for the most part, I think it's executed well. It delivers on the body swap comedy and awkwardness that you love from that genre between this big, strong, burly Vince Vaughn man and this much smaller Catherine Newton, 17-year-old high school girl. And it takes it a step further because since we're in this horror element, I really enjoyed seeing this person who is used to just manhandling his way through people, throwing them around, crushing them easily, having to adjust his kills because he's now in a much smaller frame. But the body swap stuff all worked really, really well. And I think our cast was wonderful. Catherine Newton is an utter delight, both as herself and when she is swapped into a serial killer. She develops beautifully as we move along. And then we get Vince Vaughn, who in recent times has taken on this super intimidating, like, mountain of a person in these high octane type of action, brutal films. And mixes all of that he has been doing a lot recently with more comedic chops, and it works very well. Plus, all of our supporting cast is great. I actually loved both of our best friends. The gay best friend, yeah, he may have been a tad on the stereotype side, but I loved the gay best friend. I thought he was so adorable and really funny. And the boyfriend, the football jock boyfriend, was really quite adorable as well. Plus, this film delves into a lot more social context and commentary than I had really anticipated. Getting this gender body swap as we do leads to some cool ideas about caring for the person on the inside and not just the person on the outside, which I enjoyed, but also confronting ideas behind sexism, ideas facing the LGBTQ community, and assumption, really. So I thought it really weaved in these more sophisticated social commentaries in a fun and light manner to the script. And in saying that, it delivers on both the comedy front and the horror front pretty well. We get some brutal kills right off the bat. The very first scene, they do not shy away from brutality, and that theme continues on pretty much through the whole film. Some inventive kills, some gory kills. You're just like, whoa! Every time Vince Vaughn in his body, particularly, every time somebody gets taken down. And there's also a lot of quick wit type of jokes in here, particularly again surrounding that more social commentary aspects to the film, but also the physical humor works as well. So then, what doesn't work so well when it comes to Freaky? Well, I think it lays on the cheese a little bit too much for its own good. As we get into that third act, particularly, the sentiment of the film really steps to the forefront and takes away the fun of what it was that we were watching. I don't think we really needed all of these relationship building moments between her and her classmates and her friends, as well as this boy she has a crush on, or her and her mother and her sister. It was all just laid on too thick. And every time the film did try to get into those more heartfelt moments, it rang as insincere to me rather than grounding the film. It was much more in its element when we were just having fun, staying firmly in the pocket of horror comedy. Also, for an average length film that is full of kills and comedy, throughout the tail end of the second act, I do think it came to a bit of a halt. The film comes to an awkwardly stilted pace through that section of the film before we start ramping up just a little bit. So overall, I think that Freaky is a fun time. It doesn't completely stick the landing of what its premise is pushing for, but it definitely remains entertaining enough for both horror fans and comedy fans that I think if you're just looking for a good time this weekend to escape the real world we're living in, you could do a whole lot worse than Freaky. I think this one is certainly worth a full price ticket. But please, if you do head out to a theater to see Freaky, make sure that you are adhering to all health and safety guidelines set forth by both your state as well as the theater itself, so that everyone can have a positive, safe experience having fun at the movies. That was my review of Freaky. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead, click like down below and subscribe to the channel, so you are always up to date on my latest videos. Also, join in on the discussion. Are you excited to see Freakies? And what is your favorite body swap film? Let me know either in the comment section down below, or you can hit me up on Twitter. I love you all so much for your continued support. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!